Okay, so first I want to start off by saying I'm not a medical practitioner, or am I a nutritionist, or am I qualified to recommend any diet or lifestyle changes to anyone. I'm not a professional anything. Now that being said, I want to start with this. I promote a legume-centered diet, meaning I eat a legume-centered diet. Now, some people might be worried about a number of factors. Number one, which people think of, especially people on this carnivore diet, is lectins. Lectins are not as prevalent a problem as people make them out to be, being that heat destroys them. So as long as you're eating cooked beans, as long as you're cooking them, you are not going to have this problem. Now, you should soak beans too, but to be honest, I don't soak beans. I prefer to cook them in a slow cooker with no soaking, because it's just easier. And the thing is, the other problem is, beans are allegedly not a complete protein. This is not true. Beans are a complete protein, but they're low in certain amino acids. The chief amongst them is methionine. Now, I promote methionine restriction. However, you don't want to restrict methionine too low, or you can develop methionine deficiency. Methionine is an essential amino acid, meaning you have to eat it from food to get it in your body. One of the key problems with methionine deficiency, not restriction, but deficiency, when you're restricting to the point of deficiency, is liver disease. Now, the thing is, beans do actually contain methionine, and if you're eating about, half a gram per every pound of body weight, or half a gram per every pound of body weight, whichever you prefer of protein, you're probably getting enough methionine from the beans anyway, because they do have methionine. However, grains also contain methionine, and it's a good idea to start, I recommend a 2-to-1 ratio, twice as many legumes to that many grains. So you have twice the beans to the grains. Now, going into the lectins, basically what you're choosing when you choose beans, and I'm going to leave links to these charts, you want a bean that is high in protein and lower in lectins, such as lentils, or lentils, navy beans, pinto beans, these things. You want it high in protein, high in fiber, lower in lectins. And then you want to make sure that they're thoroughly cooked before you eat them. You do want to have some grains for the methionine. You don't want to overly restrict methionine. However, methionine restriction that's not to the point of malnutrition. See, it's the same thing with protein restriction and calorie restriction have two things in common. Either way, you can't restrict to the point of malnutrition. If you restrict to the point of malnutrition, you're defeating the whole purpose, and you're damaging yourself. However, the lower methionine content of a vegan diet does impart certain life extension properties. Methionine restriction is shown to extend the lifespan of rats and mice. Rats and mice are very genetically similar to people. And also, there's great evidence that methionine restriction does help with certain aspects of human health. I'm going to leave links to these things. Again, please follow my links. Follow my links so you know that these things are based in actual studies, in actual evidence, and upon the recommendations of other health professionals. I myself am not a health professional, and I'm not recommending people do anything. However, I want people to understand, this isn't just being pulled out of my ass. These are based in actual research. So, when you follow a vegan diet, you want a diet that is high protein, lower in lectins, but not necessarily low in lectins, because the lectins are being destroyed by the heat. Now, with these cooked bean dishes, what you should do is top them with things like raw onion, raw tomato, raw vegetables of different kinds, or have them with a salad, and also olive oil to help absorb the nutrients, some type of fat, olive oil, pumpkin seeds, something high in monounsaturated fat. I'll get into that in another video, the need for monounsaturated fat in the diet. And that's all for this video.